Good morning.
Good morning, Catherine.
Today we are in the Galerie Clara Maria Sels for the beautiful exhibition by Irene Weingartner, a Swiss artist living in Düsseldorf. Now welcome, Irene.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine, that you are
Hope
here.
you enjoy Düsseldorf.
I do really.
Good. Irene Weingartner studied art in Lucerne and Berlin. She received her MA in Chelsea Art College in London. She began her career as an architect. Now she is a visiting professor in HBK Braunschweig. Irene Weingartner uses her body as a media to transform the body code into visual image on the paper, seemingly like a scientific seismography. Furthermore, she develops it into 3D image. Her recent work, watercolors, are geometric, abstract, into light space. Irene, the first question I want to ask is why you choose the title, Nothing is the Same. It sounds very philosophical.
Yeah, I think in a way I like that it goes well into this time where we are, but nothing is the same, like nothing is the same as we read it, but also it could be nothing is the same. So the nothing is the same, and then you start to think what that could be, and the term nothing, I'm always very interested because it's something you can't really imagine what it could be, because you go further and further and further into detail, then you come up to quantum physics, and where does it go if you go into the nothing, you know? So the title came together, plus maybe I can say that if you, for example, come into the show here, you don't see much actually. And then you approach your work and suddenly you see details. And so it's like also how you approach the work, it's like nothing is the same when you come in and when you go out, you know? So.
Thank you. Irene, science plays an important role in your art. What is the specific significance of science in your art?
I think that art and science always have something in common, and it's especially when you think about the process of developing a question, or if you have got a question, sometimes there are crazy questions. And I think that's the same in art as in science. And then you try to find the approach. So I think there we are in a way similar. And that's also my interest, because I think I can learn from science. But I also think that scientists can learn from artists. I mean, I hear that often from scientists, that they are really interested in art, and also how artists are creating their works and what kind of question they have. But the outcome is much more free for artists, so we don't have to try to prove something, you know. And I think the scientists really have to get a result. They have got an assumption, and then they need to have the results. We can have an assumption and can have a completely different result. So.
Okay, so I think art is subjective and spiritual, while science is objective and theoretical. What is the biggest challenge for you when working between art and science?
But a challenge, I think that to let it free, you know, that you think I've got like an assumption or a question and then I have to prove something, that I really can be free in that sense. That is, I think, not always the most easiest approach, as I'm more or less also sometimes a bit like I want to go into a point, you know. Yeah.
Your work could be described as short: body, arm, pencil, and paper. How it functions? Could you explain a little bit in detail?
Yeah. So, I call these drawings seismographic recordings, and I came up with that 2007 when I was thinking about my body because of some things. And then I thought, okay, I could concentrate on signals from the body. The signals go to the brain, get processed, get it routed further to arm, hand, pencil, paper. So I thought I could record my body and develop, in that sense, an imaging method as X-ray or CTs, computer tomography or so. Then the question came up, is it possible as an artist to develop something that you could draw your body and then somebody could read that? It's a very long process in a way. I think that will take a long time because it would be super interesting if other people also could do that, recording the body themselves, and then have like an imaging method out of this. Imaging method is always if you can't take an image optical, like a photo or so, it's like X-ray, it's like computer tomography and so forth, capturing things which are not visible. And in this sense, I tried to develop this technique.
That means mention, people, body has structure, like mathematics. But this structure invisible to most of the people. So back to the point, bring this invisible into visible. What is a specific energy or view in your mind?
Why I do it, you mean? I think I always was somehow interested to bring things out which not really can be visible. I think many artists do that actually also. And these structures, I think it's quite interesting to think about it, that, you go smaller and smaller and you think, or maybe there are some structures which are general, that everybody inherits it. Do you mean this?
And these completed drawings, when I see closely, when I see in different distance, the structure changes itself. Why? Did you perceive that before your work?
I think I work like this, very close, and then I go at a certain point, I step away and try to get a bit controlled. If there is somewhere quite dark and somewhere not, and I think it's not in balance, I try to balance it out. So it's always going close, going back, going close, and I really try then that it works close, in a close-up, and that it works when you step away. That's sometimes a challenge, because with drawing, if you do one line wrong, it can destroy the whole drawing.
And in these drawings, people can only see dot or small line, or some geometric structure. What these dots and structure, these lines means to you, or how could you help us to understand?
I think, that's the concentration, for example, on the body, and then I make lines. and it's with much concentration, and of course finally lines build up space or so. And I like to have that if you are having close up, that you just have the lines, you know, it's like nothing. And that's like the title, you know, almost. And you step back and suddenly you see a space. You know, it develops something out of just lines and dots. And what it means to me is, I think they are just done with, I try to concentrate myself a lot, you know, if I am doing my work.
Irina, I found your 3D work has something different from today's digital 3D work, which your work brings me somehow warmth, and emotion. Could you explain why you work on that and how you work on that? What would be the possibilities?
Okay, there is a bit story around it. Because of my seismographic recordings originated from the body, I suddenly thought, and the structures we were talking about, I thought, okay, I've got all these structures here, and sometimes it really looks like architectural structures. So I thought I could maybe develop really architectural structures, or finally architecture. And then there came I came along with questions how to go into such a process. I worked with the architect Robert Manto together at one point in Glasgow, from the Glasgow School of Art, and that was super interesting. So over the time, I thought I have to simplify the structures and how to do it. So I put a tracing paper on top of the recording, the seismographic recording, try to find with ink simplified structures, then taking this away, and I really wanted at one point to have the drawing and the simplified structures on top. So it took me quite a long time to think about that, and then I decided to cut all this line out. So I have got 2 layers. So here it's a bit a different kind of work, but here you can see, you will see that in other works too. That's just one like sheet of paper, cut it out. And then I thought, okay, and I want to make it 3D now, so I took these simplified structures as a basis, began to build that in 3D with balsa wood. So I've got these big models now, and I really would like to have them as a huge, or more of one than one, really big architectural sculpture where you can walk through and work with. Maybe later on it could be also possible to say we can have architecture, you know, like structures in houses or so, which are structures from the body. That's somehow an idea, but I think it will take years.
Have you brought this mini 3D into a big sculpture work?
Not yet. Okay. That's the plan.
We are looking forward to that. So I think, in summary, Irene Weingartner explores the possibility in her artwork, which try to break through the boundary of art media. Using personal experiences, for example, architecture, drawing, into experimental art. Congratulations to you, Irina, and we thank you for your artwork, and we wish you in the future further development and success. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Katrina. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you.